Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sunday video update. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. Today's date is Sunday, September 28th, 2025. Amy's asleep, Dad's gone. I'm having some issues with the internet, so I'm not exactly sure how long this live stream will go before it decides to just take a shit on me altogether. Um, but I am here for another Sunday, and I am so glad that you're here joining me for another Sunday. I believe this is the final Sunday of September. This is the final Sunday of Child Cancer Awareness Month, which we have a few days left of the month. And, we're all trying to give it one last final push before, um, the month ends. And then October, of course, goes to our Sisters in Pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's not why I'm wearing pink. I'm just wearing pink because it's a Chesaning Showboat shirt from what year? 2003. Yeah, I was only 17 back then. But anyway, um, Spinette, Melinda, and King Bob. What's happening, guys? Great to see all of you on my chat. Toenail didn't come in this week. I'm thinking maybe he's enjoying a weekend off. Spinette, it's always a pleasure to see you, bro. Melinda, Dad had to go. I don't know where he went, actually. To tell you the truth, I don't know where he went. Amy's napping right now. My sleeping patterns have been all over the place. Hello, Jared. It's been a while since I've been in your stream. Yes, King Bob, and it's great to have you back. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the week in review, which there's quite a bit to talk about. And one of those things that I'm going to talk about is that I am no longer employed by Walmart. I quit on Friday because of the fact, and there are several reasons why I walked away from the job, as I had outlined on Facebook. A couple of you might know the reasons why. Many of you probably don't. It was not a good thing. It didn't end well. The work was very strenuous. It was very taxing. The company as a whole, just not the greatest company to work for. The management is awful. They don't invest in their employees. They don't care about medical conditions. They've demonstrated that. They don't they don't care about a lot of things. They expect you to show up without formal training for the job. They expect you to jump in, know what to do, and if you don't, you look like a fool in front of not only your coworkers, but to your team leads and your management. Walmart is not a good place to work. And I was checking out some testimonials on the internet, which I shouldn't, but I do because there are lots of people who are employed by Walmart or they were employed by Walmart, and I wanted to see what their reasons for walking away from Walmart were, which were similar to mine. And that is because of piss poor management. They were just rude, obnoxious. They didn't value their employees. They treated you like a dog. They were just not good. You were just a number to them. Basically, if you're employed by Walmart, you're just a number to them. And if you haven't noticed, I've kind of lost some weight because I haven't been eating normally. My sleeping patterns have been so unorganized and out of whack. And it's the job. I'm still on my job hours, which were from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. I was there for 2 weeks at Walmart and decided, you know, I'm I'm done being treated like I'm a nothing burger, and then to have to then be met with disrespect from coworkers. I'm just not going to put up with that shit. And I made a scene in the store at Walmart. Because I'm just not going to be disrespected. And I know what everyone says. Well, that's every job you go to. People are going to disrespect you. Not necessarily. There are some jobs you can go to. The bosses are really cool. They value you. They treasure you. and they are, they motivate you. They give you enthusiasm. I didn't get that at Walmart. I didn't get any kind of motivation, no enthusiasm. Um, they just didn't care about you. They didn't value you as an employee. And so that's why I decided to just it's like well, okay, King Bob, seems you asked. So we were putting on they're called gondola skates, and what they are is you put they're skates for they're called gondola skates, but really what they are used to move shelving because I was part of the remodel team at Walmart. And I was trying to get the skate underneath of the shelf, and the long bar that goes underneath of it to go to the other skate, it wasn't going through. And my coworker, thinking he was explaining to me how to do this, was condescending. He was just a total prick, obnoxious prick. And I could hear just the, and I could, when I look up, I'd read the body language. And I just, I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. And I got up and walked away. And then I went to find my team lead and I told him, I said, I want my check. I want my check. Today's payday. I want my check. I want it now. Not 5 minutes from now, not after coffee, not after pancakes, now. And I was really pissed. And they're like, okay, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. So I waited. And the coach who works there, or he doesn't actually work, he was sent there because corporate sent him there. He says, you need to be with your team over there in automotive. I said, you need to just shut your fucking flap trap. Was it the nicest thing to say? No. Am I proud of that? No. Because in any normative circumstance, I wouldn't have gone off on anybody like that, except for the fact that I had had enough of being disrespected and treated poorly. So I didn't care. At that point, I didn't care. I waited and waited and waited. They said, well, we can help you in the back. Come on back. We'll get your check for you. It was a paper check because I had to have a check stub to take to the Social Security office in Saginaw, which I did on Friday. And I took my vest off. I said, I won't be needing this anymore either. Were you part of the remodel team? Yeah, I was. Okay, I'll let them know. Yep, you can wipe your butt with it. I'm done. So I stormed out of the store. I knocked over a cone, which there was no damage done. Um, and the door, the automatic sliding doors, I just kind of gave them a push because I was pissed. And so that was the end of it. I got in my car and I came home. There was no damage done, but I did create a bit of a scene in the store. It wasn't during business hours. The store, I think, was no, actually, you know what? No, it was 7 a.m. That was the end of my shift. Um, and I didn't care. Now my then employee coworkers, they heard me. They were very aware that I was pissed. Not valuing the employees, even though they do the work, is genuinely stupid. Yeah, Walmart is not a good place to work. And, in the beginning when I got this job, I'm thinking, okay, will you ever shop at that Walmart again? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I've been banned from that store because they saw me on camera. You just know there's cameras all over that store. Um, I don't know if I've been banned from the store. Maybe I have. But there's other Walmarts I can shop at. Um, but I got the job because I thought to myself, okay, this is a confidence booster. I'm out here making money. I'm earning my way through life, which by the way, I brought home like 800 bucks over 2 weeks. So, the pay rate was 15.50 an hour and I put in 2 40-hour weeks and I only brought home 800 bucks. Um, because the state and federal, they took like nearly $400 out of my check just in taxes. And it's like, is this even right? And I think it was. I think it was. And another element to that is I don't have kids, so therefore I don't have dependents. I can't claim children on my income tax or whatever the case may be. So they took more out of me in taxes. Um, yeah, Spinette, you're right. This is just so Spinette and anybody else watching this, just be advised that Walmart, corporate America is bullshit. They don't value their employees. They just don't. They don't give a fuck about you. They never will. You're a number to them. They expect you to show up when they tell you to show up. They expect you to know how to do things without any kind of formal training. And then they get pissed at you when you don't know how to do it. Now, something else that I experienced, another problem I ran into was the fact that one team lead told me to demerch shelves, meaning take all the product off the shelves, which I did. Another team lead comes over and says, "Well, what are you doing?" "I'm demerging the shelves like I was told." "Well, you're only supposed to do the bottom shelf." So I had to put all of that merchandise, which was candy, back on the shelf. And I'm just sitting there laughing. It's like, and one team lead says, "What's so funny?" I said, "What's funny is this." I said, "The left hand never knows what the right hand is doing." I said, "This is why I get frustrated. This is what makes the job so much more difficult." I said, "Because when I get one set of directions from one team lead, another team lead comes along and says, 'You're not supposed to do it like that.' Why didn't they tell me the first fucking time that I wasn't supposed to do it like that?" It was it's a mess. Walmart is a mess. It is a shit show. I will never work for them again. I had another job opportunity in Chesaning, but I'm having second thoughts about that. But there is another job I'm looking at, and I might get it, I might not. There's just a lot of things up in the air, so I don't want to give any definite statements because I don't know what's going to happen from this moment forward because I'm currently unemployed, and so we're just going to see what happens. There's a lot going on right now, and I really don't want to talk too much about that. Um, so the other job, Spinette, is it's a grocery store, and it's Michigan based, and so um, I'm going to see about maybe potentially if my other plans don't go through. I was thinking maybe applying for a position as a cashier at another store, um, and they're a department store. They sell, they're like Walmart, but they're not Walmart. They're not a corporate entity. They're family-owned business, and they have a chain of stores throughout the Midwest. I think in Kentucky and Ohio, Michigan, of course, because it's Michigan-based, Wisconsin, Illinois. I think there's a store in Illinois. Um, but like I said, there's nothing written in stone. I don't even know if I'm going to take the job. I have other things um, going on right now. I don't really want to get into that here, but I'm trying to I'm trying to be smart about things, which there's never a time when I'm not smart about things, at least I don't think. Um, but in this case, I want to make sure that I have some kind of financial security, and I'm just trying to do what I can um, to make sure that that happens. But as far as Walmart is concerned, um, as far as Walmart is concerned, I will never work for them again. Um, it's just awful. Now, I had orientation. The first day I had to do orientation, which is I had to look on a computer, answer a bunch of questions, questionnaires, watch videos, and things like that. I got paid for showing up at orientation. However, there's a gazillion and a half things that you have to remember. 15.50 an hour, King Bob, 15.50 an hour. I worked Okay, so I worked from a Sunday to a Thursday. That was my 40 hours. They called it a part-time job, but I was working full-time hours, if that makes sense. Um, and I did this last week and the week before that. So I was only at Walmart for 2 weeks. But they make you sit through these videos, you gotta watch, which I understand. It's, there's something with OSHA, you gotta know the hazardous, the rules and all that stuff. Um, you have to recognize, um, like what the warning signs mean and everything. Um, but there was just so much to take in. They expected you to understand all of these things by watching all these videos, listening to audio clips, reading a bunch of information. They expected you to remember this. Now, mind you, I've never used a pallet jack in my life. They expected me to know how to use a pallet jack right then and there. No formal training. And it's like, and I was getting frustrated because everybody was watching me. They were waiting on me, treating me like I was the weakest link. And eventually it's like I could feel it on me, like they were watching me. And it's like, you know what? No, somebody else do this because I'm not getting it. And the team lead's like, well, you got to learn sometime, honey. Yeah, well, why don't you try teaching me? That would be a hell of a start. It's just there's no communication with management and team leads and coaches. There's just no communication at all whatsoever. And like I said, the left hand never knows what the right hand's doing. No one's ever on the same page. There's, it's just it's a mess. Walmart is a fucking mess. You are not valued. They don't care about you. Um, it's awful. It's just awful. And I thought Walmart would be a cool place to work. Maybe 20 years ago, it was a cool place to work, but not so much now. They have really let themselves go. When Sam Walton died, because Sam Walton is the founder of Walmart, Sam's Club, Walmart. When he died, that's when things really took a turn for the worse for that company, because they are corporate America. They operate under shareholders, unlike the other store where I'm working. So, not where I'm working, where I'm looking to possibly work. I'm tired, you guys. I haven't really been sleeping too well, and I haven't been eating. But it's been a rough week. It's been a really rough week. Um, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold out, see how things go. With some other things I got going on, and I don't know. I'm just really tired today. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm very tired today. The upshot is that I will be listening to the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards tonight at 7 p.m. on 103.9 The Fox. You know what? I will get a link to that Fox Sunday Flashback because, there's a chance that people who come into the chat log might not see the link that I post. But, okay, come on, come on. I don't know what's going on with this internet today. This internet lately has been acting really strange. I think it's classicfox.com. Listen to the Fox Sunday Flashback at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. So it's classicfox.com. Okay. It's in the chat. Can you guys still hear me? Put a 1 in chat if you can hear me. If everything's still running smoothly. Because my modem over here has been acting crazy these past couple days. I have Verizon internet, and the white light keeps flashing on the box, and for some reason, a lot of my stuff won't load up. Now today, there was just another here in Michigan. There was another tragedy. It's made national headlines. There was a church shooting with multiple victims. The gunman was down, and it was at a church in the county next to me, Genesee County, and near a town called Grand Blanc. The church was on fire. There are multiple fatalities, and it's made national headlines. It's on Fox News. What a wow, what a joke. I just can't believe, so you heard about it, King Bob. Try this link here, guys, for the Fox Sunday flashback. There we go. There we go. That one works. Again, if you can hear me and if I'm moving and everything is looking fine on your end, please put a 1 in chat. Just to verify for me, if you would please, if you'd be so kind. King Bob, so where did you hear about this tragedy? Do you live here in Michigan, or did you hear it on the national news, or it's laggy? Yeah. I can imagine. Because this box over here, the light is just flashing constantly. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I'm gonna have to get a hold of Verizon, find out what's going on. Oh, you saw it on TikTok. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand why people are, yeah, at least 1 killed, 9 injured in shooting at Michigan church, suspect dead. I This is really nuts. This is really crazy why people do this. I don't understand why people do this. Um, it is a nightmarish world I live in. I wake up to this shit every day. Well, we all do. When I say I wake up to it, I'm speaking on behalf of all of us. We wake up in this crazy nightmarish world, and it's just it's terrible. It's just terrible that things like this happen. And with this also being Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, like I said, we are in like the home stretch. We're gonna give it a final push. And there was something I was gonna say on Facebook, but I think I would be better saying it here as long as I have internet connection, and you guys can still see and hear me, despite the fact that my internet is acting a bit wonky today. So I harp on this quite a bit, actually. People who are not organically a part of the childhood cancer world, they raise awareness. I don't have a problem with anybody raising awareness to childhood cancer, except for the fact that we have people who are opportunists and they attach themselves to the cause because they want to be seen and heard. It is a self-serving thing, which I take issue with. There's children dying every day, and you have people out there who are feeling powerless in life. They feel like they have no purpose. So they attach themselves to a cause to feel noble, to feel like, hey, I'm loved and I'm being seen and heard and I'm being respected. But the truth is, it's not incumbent on children who are sick to give 2 shits and a fuck about your uh whatever disproportion you feel in your life. That's not up to children to make you feel like you're part of something. I've said this before. Um, these are people who, um, for whatever reason in life, they feel discarded. They are not wanted or loved or accepted by their own family. So they attach themselves to a cause. Child of cancer just so happens to be that. So the people who pretend to have cancer are what we call these days a pick me. A pick me? I have I have a better, more colorful word or a series of words, King Bob, to describe someone who pretends to have cancer. Um, People who pretend to have cancer are disgusting, vile, low down, spineless, gutless pieces of amphibian shit. That's what they are. Um, but it's not really the people who pretend to have cancer, it's the people who are not impacted by this directly. They're on the outside looking in. And I refer to these people as outsiders. Now, I don't mean it as a pejorative to those people. I use the word outsider to distinguish those who are not a part of this organically to those as myself who are a part of this organically. I've been a child of cancer survivor now for 36 years. I had cancer back in 1989. I'm not here talking about this. I don't share my story because I'm hoping to get some kind of pat on the back. I do this for educational purposes. I do this to show other families, to demonstrate to other families that they are not alone. Their feelings are valid. The situation with their children may not be as rare as they think it is, as they presume that it could be. Maybe otherwise they perhaps think that only this can happen to my kid because I haven't heard about it anywhere else. That's just simply not true. I had an argument, kind of an argument this morning with someone on Facebook because I had posted a picture. It was a meme saying cancer sucks in all colors, and there's a like a palette of different colors of ribbons because different color ribbons represent different types of cancer. And someone had posted or commented on the post that, well, the purple ribbon also stands for Crohn's disease. Now, mind you, I'm not discarding, I'm not denying the fact that purple can also represent those with Crohn's disease. But Crohn's, in and of itself, is not a form of cancer. The post was about cancer, and it said it right in the meme. It said, cancer sucks in all colors. Crohn's disease is not a form of cancer. It's just not. While the ribbons may be the same, they use purple for lots of different causes. That particular post and that particular meme was about cancer specifically, and they made it about something else. And I had to tell them, it doesn't go both ways. When my friend says, well, it goes both ways. No, it fucking doesn't, because Crohn's is not cancer. Crohn's disease in and of itself has to do with your digestive system. However, although like irritable bowel syndrome, IBD, IBS, it can contribute to colorectal cancer, the disease itself, Crohn's, is not a form of cancer. So no, it does not go both ways. It can contribute to colorectal cancer, but it is not a cancer itself. Just like once upon a time, someone tried telling me that diabetes was a form of cancer, and I put them in their place so fucking fast they didn't know what hit them. Don't come at me with misinformation. I am not the one you want to do that to. Someone who survived cancer, I don't want to hear misinformation. I don't want people coming at me with what they assume something is when they are factually, with evidence, they are factually wrong on every aspect of what they're trying to tell me. And it didn't happen today. They weren't trying to say that diabetes is a form of cancer. They were trying to dovetail off of a post about cancer, saying that the purple ribbon also represents Crohn's disease. I'm not saying it doesn't, but this is a post about cancer, and Crohn's disease is not a form of cancer. So when they told me it goes both ways, no, it fucking doesn't. No. Sorry, it just doesn't. And that becomes a problem too, is when you get people who are uneducated about things and they don't look at something for what it is. They dovetail off of a post that has nothing to do with what they're talking about. King Bob, you enjoy your shower. Have a great day. Maybe you'll be back next week. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I deal with ignorance quite a bit, and the ignorance also stems from people, like I said, who are not directly affected by childhood cancer, but they latch on to the cause because they want to feel noble. They want to be seen and heard. They need the attention. They need the pat on the back. These kids don't give a fuck about your insecurity. They only care about trying to survive. And when I share my story and when I talk about things from that personal level, I'm not looking for anybody. I'm not looking for anybody to put me on a pedestal or treat me like I'm a hero or give me any kind of star treatment. I am simply here to say I understand, and you're not alone in how you feel. You're not alone in what you're experiencing. And everything you see and feel is perfectly normal. So that was a point that I wanted to make today. I might even still write a Facebook post. Um, but I was really taken aback this morning by people who are just, they make it a habit to compare apples and oranges, and I don't know why they do that. Um, it's just weird to me. But today I'm just relaxing and taking it easy, and I'm here with all of you for the Sunday video update. I keep wanting to say Sunday flashback, but the Sunday flashback would be my buddy Dan Richards, and he will be live on the air tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Get your requests in 810-230-9777. 9777 stands for WRSR. That's the callback or the holy fuck, the callback. It's the call letters for the station WRSR. I am tired. Like I said, last week was a very long week. My sleeping patterns are all fucked up. I haven't been eating regularly like I should have. Um, In fact, right now I'm tired, and I have another 25 minutes left of this particular stream, and then afterwards I might take a nap for a couple hours and just kind of try to sleep it off. Um, but yeah, tonight at 7 p.m., the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards, 103.9 The Fox. And you'll probably hear my voice on there tonight because I recorded it's called a drop. I recorded a drop for Dan last week, Dan Richards, and he did play it on the radio, but I didn't hear it because I was at work at the time. So tonight I may be able to hear my voice on the radio. So that'll be cool. And if you listen to the Fox Sunday Flashback tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, you got to, kind of figure that in with your time zone. Yeah, you'll hear my voice. You'll hear me say, I'm Jared Fuller from Chesaning, and you're listening to the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards on 103.9 The Fox. The Fox? The Fox. My speech is, it's really kind of slurred because I'm tired. But in any event, guys, it was a long week. It was a rough week. I actually broke down crying. I went into, when I was at work, I thought I was having a nervous breakdown, and I called Dad at 5 a.m. and I told him, Dad, I cannot do this job anymore. It's just too much. And this is at 5 in the morning, and he's like, well, come on home, son. Well, I didn't go home right then. I had a talk with the team lead at the time who I thought was understanding. I thought he was cool. And he says, "Well, I'm gonna switch you to a different team. I'm gonna switch you over to pharmacy." I'm thinking, "Cool. Switch me to pharmacy. I'll stock shelves, whatever, build mods, whatever." It didn't happen. I was still doing the same exact fucking thing that stressed me out the fucking first time. And on Friday, as I pointed out, the incident that happened on Friday, I just walked out. I stormed out of the store. That was the final fucking straw. And that's why I got pissed. I got mad because not only because the team lead didn't go through with what they said they were going to do, but I continued to put up with disrespect from coworkers, team leads. I had enough of that shit. And I took the T from the skate. There's a T that goes down, and I slammed it on the floor, and I said, "Fuck this shit." And everybody kind of jumped, and I stormed off. I walked off, and there was a coworker who said, because I was walking fast. I wanted to get the fuck out of there as quick as I could. And I'm walking through the aisles and everything, and another coworker is like, "Damn, dude, slow down." I said, "Fuck off." And I just kept walking. I was mad. I was mad. I'm not proud of what I did, though. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not proud of my reactions to things like that, but I don't regret standing my ground. People can listen to this, and I know they're going to use this against me. They're going to say I'm crazy. They're going to say I'm belligerent. They're going to say I'm this. They're going to say I'm that. I don't care. I had my reasons. And anybody who works for Walmart can attest to the same thing that I just said, that the environment sucks. It's just awful. Remember what someone said in my Q&A gaming live stream? Someone said, "No." Spinat, I don't remember. I'm not sure. But anyway, when you're pushed to your past your limits, enough was enough with me and the Ant Kings. Oh, I don't remember, Spinat. I was there. I was there. I was talking to you guys, but I don't know what you're referring to right off. I apologize. Um, kind of refresh my memory a little bit, Spinat, because I'm tired and I can't think right off. Um, if you refresh my memory, something having my oh yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. Um, because I'm a mod in Spinut's chat log, and someone had come into his chat, and it's really disgusting. I don't even know if I want to repeat it, but it was something to do with them being well, okay. They claimed that they were pregnant with Spinut's child, and Spinut is a minor. And I had to ban them from his chat, which is really fucking disgusting, by the way, because Spinat is a minor, and I'm pretty sure Ant Kings is also a minor. And people were coming in saying, "Oh, I'm pregnant with Spinat's child. I'm pregnant with Ant King's child." It was just fucking gross. It was disgusting. Thank you for refreshing my memory, Spinat. I appreciate that. Um, it's just really fucking terrible why people do that, and they think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's even remotely cute. Um, it's some creep who came into Spinat's chat log and just saying a bunch of gross, disgusting shit, and I had to put them out to pasture, because you're not going to come into, not only is Spinat my good friend, but you're not going to come into Spinat's chat log and fucking disrespect him. Not on my watch. It ain't going to happen. As long as I'm there, don't fuck around, because I will put you out. So, and Spinat knows I got his back, and you're welcome. You're welcome, Spinat. It was my pleasure. Maybe it was a guilty pleasure putting assholes out of your chat log. Maybe I enjoyed it a little too much, but enough is enough. People come into your chat log, they need to be respectful. Now, when chewing off my toenail, that's the name of the person who comes into my chat. When Toenail comes in here, he's funny. He never says anything inappropriate. I've never had a problem with Toenail. He comes in, he says something funny, albeit gross, but it's funny at the same time. And he's always cool. I never have a problem with Toenail. He is like he makes me laugh. I could have the worst day or the worst week. He'll come in, excuse me, he'll come into my chat, he'll leave some funny comments, and it kind of, makes me laugh. It cheers me up. It makes me smile. So, Toenail, I don't mind Toenail because he's not inappropriate, not according to my standards. But when you get people coming into the chat log of a minor like Spinette here, saying that they're pregnant with his kid and all that shit, that's where I draw the fucking line. It's not cool. It's not funny. And if I catch you coming into Spinette's chat log saying stupid shit, you out there, whoever may be watching this, a fucking troll, if you come into Spinette's chat log and I catch you saying this, I won't hesitate to ban your ass and drop you like a fucking stone. So take my advice, don't do it. And don't come in my chat log being stupid. Some people already found out in the past. I don't have that issue now. Because there's just a zero tolerance for people who come into my chat log and want to start trouble. I've had, people, you'd be down to be a mod in my chat. Okay. All right. You got it, Spinette. There you go, sir. Spinette is actually my very first mod in chat. Now, actually, no, I take that back. You're not my first mod in chat. Sorry, Spinette. Amy is actually my first chat mod. And you'd be my second. Kaleo, which I don't see him come in my chat anymore. He wanted to be a mod, but he's still a young kid. I don't want for anyone to, he's young. I don't want him to come in here and see something horrible or someone saying something disgusting to him which by the way, Kaleo has a birthday today. So Kaleo, if you're watching this, I love you so much, buddy. You have an awesome birthday today. And Spinette, I know you got my back, brother. I know you do, and I appreciate you so much. And I love you, kid. So thank you so much. And I don't mean that in a creepy way. Ooh. You know how people are nowadays? They take everything. I think they purposely take things out of context so they'll have something to bitch about later. I'm convinced that people who should know better, they should have enough sense to know better. Like if I was being creepy here on a live stream, well, first off, if I was being creepy, I don't think I would do it outright where everybody could fucking see me. But even in private, I'm not a creepy person. So it's like, use your fucking head. If you can't tell the difference between someone who is a creep and takes no shame versus someone who has self-control, then I don't know what to tell you. But I may talk about things here in my live stream that may be a little too risque for younger audiences, which I'm not taking away from that either. But Kaleo is still just a young kid, and I didn't want to make him a chat mod because I don't want him being attacked because I'm very good friends with his parents. Spinette, I know you'll clean house. I got your back, and you got mine, but I know for a fact you are a no bullshit, zero tolerant person. So, I got your back just as much as you got mine, brother. And I appreciate you. We are down to the final 15 minutes of the show. I'm glad that, although my internet is being really weird and the light on the modem keeps flashing, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a firmware update, or maybe I have to get a new router. I don't know. The white light is continuously flashing, but if I'm still being seen and heard in a live stream, then I'm not gonna complain too much. Um, I mean, Spinette can hear me, obviously, um, and the 4 other people in chat, which I'm assuming are still here because it's Spinette, or maybe even the 3 other people because I think they count me. They count me, the host, or the I don't even know if I'm considered a host, but I know they count me as being in the chat. I know King Bob left. Spinetta's still here. Melinda, are you still here? um, maybe she's not. I mean, there's people probably watching who cannot comment in chat because they were banned from chat permanently, but they can still watch. Um, but you know, it's whatever. It's cool. But I am not going to I'm not gonna kowtow to stupidity. And Spinette, I know for a fact, is not gonna put up with that. Um, so it's just one of those things where you gotta be vigilant and you gotta keep your eyes and ears open at all times and don't take shit from people who think they're gonna pull a fast one and they're gonna try to be sly and sneaky and yeah, just not happening. Not gonna happen. Are you still here, Spinette? I got like 10 minutes left. Um, you know, all summer long, and it just dawned on me. For most of the summer, I haven't been to Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, the world's largest Christmas store. I haven't really been over there a lot. Um, I don't know why. I just well, I mean, for the past couple weeks, of course, I was working, so I didn't have time. But between sleeping and working, you know, I didn't really have time to do much of anything else. Um, but I haven't, you know, I had all summer to go. I haven't really been over there. And they're probably wondering what happened to Jer Bear. And well, I'm gonna have to make a visit here pretty soon. Um, and well, let's see. I'm gonna be in Clio tomorrow night for the Monday flashback out at Pine Run Inn. And it's going to be great to see everybody again. I wasn't able to go last week because I didn't have the money. This week I do. And I got to make sure I've got money for my bills, which my bills are coming up and those are due. So I will, I'll see everybody tomorrow night at the Pine Run Inn, corner of M54 and M57 at the Pine Run Inn, Saginaw Road and Vienna Road, which is just east of Clio, north of Flint. Um, for my local friends who may be watching this and they're probably not sure where Pine Run is. If you know where Auto City Speedway is on Saginaw Road, it's north of there. Pine Run Inn is north of Auto City Speedway. If you're coming from Frankenmuth, excuse me, if you're coming from Frankenmuth or Birch Run, you just head south on it would be Gera Road if you're headed south on 83. And then when you get into Genesee County, it turns into Clio Road. And then you hang a left on which would be Saginaw Road or something. I don't know. I know how to get there. I'm tired. I can't think. Hey Jared, I'm probably gonna go. My friend tonight at my house and just okay, yeah, Spinette, go ahead, buddy. Don't let me keep you here, man. Everything's good. I love you, kid. I'm always watching out. You have fun with your friend. Is it Ant Kings? My friend the night, perfect English. Yeah. Hey, maybe you're tired too because I can't talk worth shit today. Is it Ant Kings? Is that your friend? I'll give him a chance to respond here. Is it Ant Kings? I wonder. I wonder. I get along with Ant Kings. I get along with Spinette, obviously. No, it isn't Ant Kings. Okay. All right. That's all I need to know. Actually, I really don't care who it is, but oh, it's your editor. Okay. And when I say I don't care who it is, I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying that to me it makes not one bit of difference. It's your friend. You know who it is. It's all that matters. Um, but I know you and Ant Kings you've made some content together quite a bit. So, Spinette, I'll catch you on the flip side, buddy. Much love to you. Be good. Behave yourself. Don't take shit from trolls and people who are just out to ruin your day. Because I don't have time for that shit either. I am like, it's been a rough week. And you know, the thing is, the only thing that sucks about quitting my job, it was nice seeing you too, Spinette. The only thing that actually sucks about me quitting my job, it's not even the paycheck. It's the coworkers. Like, not all the coworkers were shitty. There were a lot of nice people I worked with. But the ones who had the most attitude, it wasn't even so much the guys, it was the girls. It was the girls. They had this snotty, stuck-up fucking attitude. I was working with 20-somethings who thought they knew everything. I was working with a guy who he gave false information constantly, and I called him out on a few things. We were moving a display, it was like a shelf. We were moving it, and they wanted to pick it up from the very bottom of it. And I told them, I said, "You should probably pick it up from the corners underneath, because if not, it could slip out of your hands and someone's gonna get hurt." Well, they didn't listen to me. No one got hurt, fortunately, but the piece that acts as the wall or whatever, part of the display, it popped out of place. And it's like, see, this is what happens. I'm not trying to take charge. I'm not management. I'm not a team lead, but I use my common sense. It's like, I wouldn't pick it up like that because it's not gonna work. And sure enough, I was right. And I think they all got mad at me because it's like, I'm not picking it up like that. I will pick it up from the corner because it's not gonna ruin it. If you're picking it up from the bottom, you're gonna have a problem. They picked it up from the bottom, they didn't listen to me, and they ran into issues. And I walked away. It's like, "See, I told you." And they're like, "Why aren't you gonna come over here and help?" No, because I already told you what not to do and you fucking did it anyway. So have fun with that. Knock yourselves out with that. I'm going to go over in this aisle and I'm going to do what's called zoning. Basically, what zoning is, when you look at the shelves, you just got to make sure all of the product is at the edge. You got to fill it out with product. So that way, when the customers come into the store at 6 a.m., they'll see a nice filled shelf. And when the boss lady comes in at 5 a.m., she'll see that everything is nice and neat, and the product and the colors on the boxes, everything just pops when you walk in. Um, I did that with cereal. I did it with laundry detergent. I did it with bleach. I did it with cleaning products. I did that with candy. I did it with pretty much anything you could think. Bottles of pop, cases of pop. Um, the items that are pushed in, they got to be brought out with the front label facing front towards the aisle. Now, when there's overstock, what you do is when there's overstock, you put it on the very top shelf, but you don't have the label facing out, you have the UPC facing out. See, I learned something from stocking shelves at Walmart. I actually did get to stock some shelves, but the other work that they had me doing was strenuous, and my team leads didn't give a fuck, and management doesn't give a fuck. They don't care about their employees. And I probably sabotaged any future employment I might have with Walmart. Um, but that's okay. That's all right. We are down to the last 5 minutes of the show. I appreciate all of you for stopping by and listening to me gab for the past hour. And I guess I'm gabbing incoherently because I'm tired, and I know what I wanna say, but my thoughts don't come out legibly, so it's like, let me rephrase that, let me say it again, to be more clear and more to the point, but, um, I need to get some sleep, and, I'll probably do that after the show. I thought Dad would have been back by now. Um, oh, I got an email. So and that's the noise you heard. "Doo-doo-doo-doo." Well, that's because I have an email, so let's go check the email. Spam. Probably spam, because I get a lot of spam email. Um, let's see what we got here. Is it junk mail? Is it junkety junk mail? Uh, ooh, I know I've got mail, thank you. Um, well, I wouldn't call that junk mail. I might keep that. Um, but hopefully this week will be better. Hopefully it won't be as stressful as, the last week, but I do have bills to pay this week. Um, I think better things are on the horizon. I keep holding out hope. Um, September's Child of Cancer Aware I don't even know what else there is to talk about. September's Child of Cancer Awareness Month. Um, we just lost a warrior, um, yesterday or the night before, and, it's hard to talk about that. Anytime a child dies, it's horrible. It's not something I particularly ever like to talk about, but it is a reality in the child of cancer world, and it does make me emotional even now just sitting here talking about it. Um, but I feel bad for the family. My heart goes out to them. And the reason I share my story is for those people who may feel lost and lonely. Um, I commented, I posted a link in the chat, Linda, where you can listen to the Fox Sunday Flashback, and I'll post it on Facebook too in just a minute. But it's why I raise awareness to child of cancer because these families depend on someone who will speak to them. They depend on someone who survived it when they are scared and wandering helplessly in the dark and they don't know what to do. They need someone's light to show them the way. And I'm not a hero, and I'm not trying to pass myself off as such. But if I have knowledge about something, personal knowledge, I will rescue people from the dark as much as I can. And there's people out here there currently who actively hate me. And when it comes to those people, I don't give a fuck. They can go on hating, they can go on their little tirade and their little smear campaigns, and they can continue to do the stupid, pointless, childish shit they do. Because at the end of the day, I'm the bigger person. I'm an adult. I don't make shit up to tear people down. I don't go on smear campaigns, although there are some people who actually do deserve smear campaigns, which I was actively involved in about 10 years ago. There are people who do deserve to be called out for their behavior and their relentless, ruthless bullshit. And I don't have a problem calling that out and calling out the people who are engaged in it. I don't have a problem calling out people who will willingly believe things without evidence, without proof, without any good reason other than, oh, well, a bunch of people said it. That's not how we discover truth. And before I go on another tirade about that, which my my dog is scratching to get in, I'm going to end it on that. My dog is scratching to get in. So I love you guys very much. Even if you're one of my haters and you are just sitting there laughing, listening to me gab, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. I never did. There are just some people who have lost their way in life. And I hope one day they find it again. Much love. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.